Have you ever noticed that every time you share your next big move, your dream, your plan, your goal, it somehow falls apart? You were excited, you told people, and suddenly, things slowed down. You lost the drive, you lost the momentum. Sometimes you even lost the opportunity. Why does that happen? Because when you talk too much about what you're about to do, you trick your brain into feeling like you've already accomplished it. You give yourself the dopamine hit without the discipline. And worse, you invite doubt, judgment, envy, and noise into something that still needed silence to grow. We live in a world that rewards noise over results, where people post more than they progress, where the spotlight is craved more than mastery, where announcements are louder than actions. But the truth? The real ones don't announce. They build quietly. They don't need to be seen starting. They just want to be seen finishing. Because when it's done, the results will always speak louder than the promise ever could. Let me ask you something. How many dreams have you buried under conversations? How many times have you shared your vision with people who were secretly hoping you wouldn't make it? How many times have you delayed your destiny by opening your mouth too soon? In today's world, we confuse exposure with execution. We post our goals for validation instead of progress. We talk about the vision before we've built the foundation. We let likes replace legacy. But here's the cold truth. If you're always talking, you're rarely building. The strongest foundations are laid in silence, and silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Because silence keeps you focused. Silence protects your energy. Silence guards your vision from people who don't deserve access to it. And silence saves you from your own ego. So ask yourself, if no one clapped, would you still build? If no one posted about you, would you still push? If no one believed in you, would you still bet on yourself? Because the most dangerous person in any room is the one building quietly. No distractions, no announcements, no approval needed. Just quiet, calculated, relentless execution. Number 1, the trap of early applause. There's a hidden trap that kills more dreams than failure ever will. It's called early applause. You set a goal, you feel that fire, you tell a few people about it, and what happens next? They cheer you on, they clap, they say, "You got this." And in that moment, your brain rewards you. You get that warm rush of dopamine, the same rush you'd feel if you'd actually accomplished it. But here's the truth. You haven't done anything yet. You see, your brain doesn't know the difference between talking about progress and making progress. And when you share too early, your mind thinks you've already won. That's why you slow down. That's why you lose the hunger. That's why the fire fades. You got the praise without the pain. You got the validation without the victory. You talked so loud, you forgot to build. And what's worse, the moment you share your dream, you open the door to opinions. And most opinions come from people who've never done what you're trying to do. Now, you're not just carrying your dream, you're carrying their doubt, their fears, their projections. So what do? So keep your goals sacred. Put them in the vault. Let your silence protect your vision. Let your actions speak. Let your results roar. Move in silence, not because you're scared, but because you respect your dream too much to cheapen it with premature applause. Ask yourself, would I still chase this dream if nobody ever knew I had it? If there were no likes, no comments, no claps, would I still show up? Because that's how you know it's real. Number 2, the power of moving in silence. Silence isn't a weakness, it's a weapon. In a world obsessed with noise, the loudest person in the room often has the least going on. Real power doesn't brag, it builds, it moves in the shadows. It operates under the radar, not to hide, but to protect. To protect your vision from critics, to protect your energy from leeches, to protect your drive from the weight of opinions you never asked for. Moving in silence isn't about secrecy, it's about strategy. When no one knows your next move, they can't block it, they can't slow it down, they can't plant doubt in something they never saw coming. Some people only support you as long as you're not doing better than them. And the moment your light gets too bright, they'll try to dim it with their own insecurity. But silence shields your momentum. It builds pressure, like a volcano under the surface. And when it finally erupts, the world can't ignore it. Your results speak louder than your intentions ever could. So, build a private blueprint. Cut the audience, increase the action. Protect your energy like it's currency, because it is. Don't explain. Don't seek validation. Don't overshare. Let your execution be the announcement. Let your win be the only thing they hear. Ask yourself, what if I stopped needing permission to be great? What if I stopped trying to prove and started to produce? What could I build if I made silence my ally and consistency my voice? Number 3, everyone's watching, not everyone's wishing you well. You think they're all rooting for you, clapping, supporting, believing in your dream. But let's talk truth. They're not. Some are silently competing. Some are waiting for you to fall so they can say, I knew it. Some are smiling to your face, but secretly feeding your doubt. Not everyone who watches your story views it with love. Some watch it hoping it stops, hoping you lose the fire, hoping your breakthrough never comes. Why? Because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. Your courage exposes their excuses. Your discipline makes their comfort look weak. That's why they don't clap when you win, because it feels like their loss. And you keep sharing updates, hoping for support, but all you're really doing is feeding the audience, and not every audience deserves front row seats to your journey. So, stop performing, start producing. You don't need their validation. Let your progress be so undeniable it silences every doubter in the room. Don't announce, don't explain, deliver. Your success will answer questions you never needed to respond to. Ask yourself, who in my circle genuinely supports my growth, and who secretly feels threatened by it? If I went silent today, who would still check in to lift me up, and who would disappear without a word? Would I still move forward if the only applause I ever heard was the one I gave myself? Number 4, the illusion of progress. Busy doesn't mean forward. Talking doesn't mean doing. Planning isn't the same as executing. And yet, we trick ourselves. We sit with our notebooks full of strategies, our whiteboards full of goals, our days packed with activity. But still, nothing real is changing. You feel exhausted. But ask yourself, exhausted from what? From building or from being busy? See, we confuse motion with progress, but motion without direction is chaos. It's possible to run full speed in the wrong direction. It's possible to build for years, only to realize you built someone else's version of success. We overthink, we overplan, we overtalk, and then we wonder why our goals never come alive. You know what creates transformation? Execution. Quiet, gritty, focused execution. Showing up when no one sees, taking the next step even when you're scared, not tweeting about it, not telling your group chat, just doing it. So be consistent, be focused, be quiet. Let your grind speak louder than your words. Don't seek approval, seek results. Progress doesn't make noise, but it leaves a mark. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I stopped talking and just started doing? If I traded the illusion of movement for actual momentum, how far could I go? And here's a harder one. Am I working on my dream or just rehearsing the idea of it? Number 5, real builders build quietly. The loudest person in the room isn't always the one doing the most. In fact, real builders are rarely loud. They don't post every brick they lay. They don't live stream their struggles. They're not obsessed with applause, validation, or proving a point. They're obsessed with the work. The real ones? They don't wait for motivation. They show up when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one's cheering. The most dangerous mindset isn't laziness, it's obsession with the outcome. You want the result, the mansion, the following, the freedom. But you hate the process. You skip steps. You get bored. You need attention to stay consistent. That's not building, that's performing. Real builders fall in love with the process. They trust the silence. They lay brick after brick after brick while others are too busy flexing empty frames. They understand something deep. The process is the point. The work is the reward. You want to separate yourself? Fall in love with repetition. Show up relentlessly. Get addicted to building what no one else sees yet. The blueprint is yours. You don't owe anyone an explanation. So, forget the spotlight. Build without broadcast. Let your discipline be the story no one saw coming. Ask yourself, what would happen if I worked like no one was watching? Would I still give 100% without the likes? Would I still grind if nobody clapped until the end? So, this world rewards loud voices, but history remembers quiet builders. Not the ones who said they would, but the ones who did. Not the ones who posted, but the ones who performed. Not the ones who promised, but the ones who produced. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Prove it to yourself. Because when you build quietly, you protect the most powerful part of your journey, your belief. So I ask you, will you keep announcing your moves, or will you start making them? Will you keep talking about success, or will you finally build it? Will you be another echo in the noise, or will your results be so loud they can't be ignored? The choice is yours, but remember this: they can't stop what they can't see. So move in silence, and let your work make all the noise.